The split method divides the string calling it into several substrings based on the separator character. The simplest case, when there are no arguments given to split, is that it splits it up by spaces. It assumes that every space separates out two different strings. So here, my string is a long string with 13 individual words. MyString.split will split my string up into a bunch of different strings based on where those spaces occurred. So here, it spits out 13 individual words in a list. The brackets designate a list, and each individual item is separated by a comma. So this is a list of 13 individual strings, which correspond to the 13 space-separated words from our original myString. We can also supply our own split character. Here we're splitting by periods instead of by spaces. So that means that here we're trying to split up individual sentences instead of individual words. Our result is a list of our sentences. This is my text. It has 13 words. It also has 3 sentences. Notice a couple issues here though. First, at the beginning of each of these strings is a space. It's splitting by periods, which means it includes the space in what it defines as the string. Second, there's actually an empty string at the end. Python sees the period at the end of the string, and at that point it closes off the previous string and starts a new one. It doesn't know that it's not going to find anything in that new one, and so we end up with an extra empty string at the end of our list. We can resolve this by instead splitting based on period space. So in other words, we only want to split if there's both a period and a space. That separates out only the interior sentences, as opposed to that last one. But that's still not perfect because it leaves the period inside that last sentence, while it removes it from the previous two. But still, we're closer now to what we probably wanted. The split method is especially useful when we deal with comma or tab or new line separated lists. It's common to ask users to enter multiple options separated by commas. So here we're asking our user to enter a list of names, and they're entering them separated by these commas. So we can use that split method to pull out the individual names. Splitting based on the comma character gives us a list of 5 names: David, Vershali, Lucy, Ping, and Jasmine. Now note that we don't necessarily know if the user will put spaces after the commas or not. We don't want to split based on comma space, because then it won't split if they don't. But if they do, we don't want to include the spaces inside of the names that we split up. So the easiest way to do this would be to strip out the white space at the end. Strip out the space bars. We'll cover that next.